Hi, everyone. Welcome to Artificial Intelligence for Early Elementary, Day 2. Are you excited? If you weren't here for Day 1, that's okay. You can still participate in all of today's lessons. Today, we're doing a Code 5 course by me, Charlotte Dungan. I'm the AI program architect at the North Carolina School of Science and Math, and this program is sponsored by Infosys Foundation USA. Today, we're going to explore some big words. Here we go. Representation and reasoning. Don't be afraid by those words. We'll explain it as we go along. So, welcome. I'm so excited to tell you about artificial intelligence because artificial intelligence is a kind of computer system that learns. Remember that AI is the nickname for artificial intelligence. So we can say AI or artificial intelligence, and it means the same thing. AI is all around us. We use it every day. Today, we're going to focus on AI systems that have learned how people draw. Isn't that interesting? Are you ready to do some art today? You won't need any paper. This will be all on the computer. We call that digital art. So when we draw, we make a representation of an object. That means we don't actually make a turtle when we draw a turtle, right? We draw something that looks like a turtle enough that we can recognize it. So let me give you an example. Do you see here these emojis? Emojis are a great example of a representation. They show a feeling, but they don't really show a face. Does anyone you know have a bright yellow face? Maybe only a Lego guy, right? Well, these emojis, even though they have just a few features, they can tell us if someone is happy, if someone is angry or surprised or sad. And we can do that by using a representation of eyes, eyebrows, and a mouth. And that little bald round head, that's a face, right? So we use representations all the time. It's not a word you should be afraid of. It just means that you might not have all the features of a real thing. Like my face here has a shape that curves around my chin, right? An emoji doesn't have a chin, but we can still tell how it's feeling. So once we have a representation, we can perform some reasoning. We could say, hey, if we want to build any face, what do we need for an emoji? We need a circle and we need some shapes. And if we put them together, we can combine them to make a certain feeling. And that reasoning, choosing whether the smile is up or down, would tell us whether it's happy or sad. So when we have a computer system that learns how to draw, it also has to learn a representation. What might that look like so someone could recognize it? So in our first activity today, I'm so excited to play. We're going to play a game called Quick Draw. Now, if you are an early elementary student, you should have your grown-up do the drawing for this activity and you be the watcher and the cheerer on her because it moves pretty fast. This is a pretty quick one. So I'm going to show you the quick draw activity, and then you're going to get to do it yourself with your grown-up. Okay, so first watch me, and then I'll help you to find the link so that you can do it too. Our first activity is called Quick Draw, and it looks like this. This was made by Google, and Google wanted to teach a computer how to draw. And the way they thought that would work out best is for lots and lots of people to give them drawings. So we're going to click this orange button at the bottom, and it's kind of hard to see. So I'm going to make a big circle around it. It says, let's draw. And when it's your turn, you're going to press that button to make the game begin. So here's how it goes. Click. And it's going to tell me what to draw. I'm going to do 6 drawings. The first one is a birthday cake.
I see bench or square or pillow. Oh, I know, it's birthday cake. I see canoe or bread or shoe or cup or mug. Oh, I know, it's vase. I see fork or lightning. Oh, I know, it's hand. I see bush or squiggle or pond. Oh, I know, it's cloud. I see string bean. Oh, I know, it's paperclip.
Last one, here we go.
I see line or mountain or fence. Oh, I know, it's church.
Okay, so now you can see my 6 drawings. Now you're going to play 2. I'm going to give you the link. And then when you're finished with your guesses, you're going to stop on this screen that says well drawn. So here we go. I'm going to give you the link, and it is going to be quickdraw.withgoogle.com. You can see it there, quickdraw.withgoogle.com. When you go to that site, you'll press that button at the bottom and you'll have it guess 6 times. Even if your speakers aren't on, you'll still be able to do this activity. It will just guess with words at the bottom of your screen. So go ahead and take a turn and then stop on that well-drawn screen, and we'll be right back together in a few minutes. Keep drawing. If you're still finishing up, keep going. You can also pause this video if you need to. If you need a few more seconds or you've had trouble signing in, just go ahead and pause and come right back when you're ready. Okay? All right, so we're going to start on that well-drawn screen again. When you've gotten all 6 of your drawings, they should show there. And you'll notice that even if you're not the best artist, the Google program is pretty good at guessing, and it keeps getting better and better. Now, if you click on one of your pictures, it doesn't matter which one, just click on a picture, you'll see that it tells you what you're supposed to draw. It shows your picture, and then it matches with what other things it might have guessed. So for example, in this picture, it correctly matched birthday cake. It may have also matched the word cake, and it was 3rd closest to toothbrush, probably because of all of those sticky out pointy parts. You can also see how Google learns, this artificial intelligence system learns, and it learns by seeing how other people draw. These are other examples of when people were given the words birthday cake, These are the types of things that they draw. You'll notice that some of them are individual slices. A lot of the candles have flames on the top. Some of them have frosting or words, but they all generally have a similar shape and objects, just like when we saw those emojis. In this case, we might see some lines sticking up from a square or a circle. So if we go all the way back to the top and choose the back button, it's in the top left. Go ahead and click that back button. That'll take you back to all 6 of your pictures. You're of course welcome to look at other ones, but there's a hidden link here that says data, and it's right here. Do you see that word data? It's actually a link and you can click it. So go ahead and click that link and you'll be able to see all the drawings that QuickDraw makes. There's so many, and you can mouse over them to see them. So here is a butterfly, and if I click butterfly, I'll be able to see all the different ways that people draw a butterfly. I could also choose a different object up here at the top. So if you want to switch to something else, that's fine. But the interesting thing is, as you go over one of the pictures, you'll notice that it's drawing the photo as it goes. It's drawing that butterfly. So let's highlight one of these here. Let's see one that draws, and we'll just click it, and there it goes. And you'll notice these butterflies have wings that have a dent in the middle and a middle part, and that makes a butterfly. That's the representation of a butterfly. Do real butterflies look like this? No, but this is how we often draw a simple sketch of a butterfly with 2 wings and a center body, sometimes with some antennas on the top. So you're looking at 100,000 pictures of butterflies that other people have drawn. And you'll notice that because they have similar features, they also are often drawn in the same way. They start on the left and they draw over to the right. Sometimes you can see people draw them in different ways, but you'll notice this one is left to right also. And those patterns of left to right are another way that we can tell that this is a butterfly, because we often draw in the same direction as we all draw the same pictures. So this computer AI system is learning from a lot of data, so many pictures of butterflies and anvils and birthday cakes and whatever else it asked you to draw. And as we give it more and more data, it can be more and more accurate, not just about what you drew at the end, but also the way that people draw, the direction that they draw, and the computer system learns from all this information so it can make better and better guesses. Whoa, QuickDraw is pretty fun, huh? Make sure you play again another time. Open up a new tab so that you can play it again a little bit later. But for this class, we're going to keep going, okay? We're going to do something else. I can't wait to show you the next tool. This one is called AutoDraw. And AutoDraw was made from the data that came from the QuickDraw. So all those pictures that people gave by drawing into the application, when they were drawing in QuickDraw, they were giving those pictures to Google. Those butterflies we saw, we gave Google 100,000 pictures of butterflies. And so now this tool, AutoDraw, can make drawings for you based on that information. So here we are at autodraw.com, and that's where we're going to go for our next website. So you can find that now, and I'll show it again in just a minute, but I want to show you how it works. You can open it up and that's fine, okay? Here we are at AutoDraw, and you'll see yours might probably look like this, but just in case you're up in the menu, that's fine. Just choose a paper and you'll end up right here. Now, this is just like a piece of paper. I can draw, but I want to make sure that I use this black marker. Make sure that you're not down here on the regular draw button. You want to make sure you're at the one that has the stars on it, and it should be black and it should say AutoDraw. And now the way this works is that I can draw a picture like that butterfly. And as I start to draw, you'll notice that at the top of the screen, there are pictures appearing, and it's making some guesses about what I want to draw. And if I click one of those pictures, I'll draw a butterfly. Let me show you that again. I can always reset if I want to by pressing this undo button. I can go back and back and back and start something new if I want to. And here I am, I'm going to draw it again. And when I make my first line, it thinks I want a circle, but I just add to it a little bit. And now it thinks I might want a snowman or maybe an ear or a mouse. But if I keep adding, now it thinks I might want to draw a peanut. That's pretty silly. How about a cloud? No, I'm going to just keep going. And if I don't get the thing I want right away, I'll just keep adding some information. And now I've got the butterflies. And that's what I was hoping to draw. The other thing about this is that you can draw another picture on the side. You don't have to draw only one picture. You might, let's see, I'm going to draw that vase that I thought I had, and there it is. And I can draw it right on the same screen. So you can draw many pictures on one screen, and that's fine. You can also click on them and make them bigger or smaller. So those are all the options that you have. And right now, I'd like you to give AutoDraw a try. I'm going to put the URL up. I'm going to put the link that you can use, and you're going to draw with your tools. Remember that you need to keep on the black pen and see if you can make at least 3 different drawings of things that you like, okay? 3 different drawings. You can even have fun by resizing them if you want to. You can click on it once it's made and make it bigger or smaller, and that'll give you more space. If you get stuck and you need to start over, use the hamburger menu at the top and choose the fresh piece of paper to start over. Okay, you should have all the tools you need to make drawings where the artificial intelligence draws for you and makes your picture really polished. So now it's your turn to give it a try. Let's put up the link. It's autodraw.com, and you can use it right now. We'll give you about 2 minutes to make your own drawings, and then we'll come back together. Hopefully you've had some time to do some drawing. It's okay if some of your drawings didn't work. This program doesn't know how to draw everything, especially if you like something that's really specific. Like if you have a favorite superhero or a favorite TV character, those will not be in AutoDraw. And that's because those have a special license that you have to have permission to use. So if you were struggling with making something like a Pokemon or a Batman or something like that, try again with something more generic, like your favorite food or your favorite animal or your favorite sport. Something like that might have better results for you. AutoDraw is still learning. And so it doesn't have every picture, but it has quite a few. So don't give up. Let's go back to AutoDraw, and I'm going to show you a few more things that you can experiment with. The first is when you draw a picture with AutoDraw. I'm going to make a basketball this time. I like basketball. Let's see. If I make a line on it, that gives me a baseball. I make another line, and oh, I see the basketball. It's right there. That's the one I was hoping for. I'm going to make a sports picture. So I've got my basketball picture, and I can click on it and then choose a corner to resize it and make it a little bit smaller. And gosh, I noticed that the basketball is blue. But my basketball isn't blue, it's orange. So I'm going to change it to orange by selecting the color over here on the side and then choosing the color that I would like. Now, AutoDraw only makes representations, right? It doesn't make the real thing. And these drawings are very simple. They're often called clip art because you can quickly change them with color and size, and you can even cut them out and make them into new things. So we don't have every option. There's not every color here, but there's enough for you to personalize it and make this your own. So I made a basketball, and now I'm going to make, oh, look at that. I got a funny rectangle. Isn't that weird? What happened? Oh, well, I was still on the color, the orange. Instead of, you'll notice my magic AutoDraw pen isn't black anymore. If you had a problem where you got a box, it's saying, hey, everything that I put in that box, I want to turn orange, but I didn't choose my pen. So I just have to make sure and go back up to my pen and then draw another circle. Oh, this one's orange now. And I'm going to make this one into a baseball. So there's my baseball, or maybe it's a softball if you like softball. I like both. I like both. I like going to see sports, and I like to see both baseball and softball. And then the last sport I'm going to try to make is hockey. Oh, and remember, I got that rectangle again. That means I need to go back and choose my black AutoDraw pen. And a hockey puck is sort of flatter. It's more like a hamburger. Oh, but look, there I got a couple of different hockey puck pictures. So I'm going to choose this one, hockey puck, and I want to make this picture black. So I'm going to choose the black, and this time I changed the color before I chose the hockey puck. So I can draw, oh, look at that. I drew a line. It was a mistake, right? When you make a mistake, you can just use the undo button. It's no problem. It's no problem at all. So just click that hockey puck and then turn it black. There we are. Go, hockey puck, go. I believe in you. You can turn black too. There's black. Here's the hockey puck and turn it black. Gosh, sometimes technology can be so tricky. I wonder why this doesn't want to turn black for me. Well, if I get a mistake, I can always make a box and turn it black. And usually this works. Oh, I made it blue. How about black? Oh, I did it. I just kept trying. Sometimes it can be frustrating when you're not sure what to do, but you can always just try something new. Like instead of being able to click on it, I made a box. I tried that. And now I've got all my sports here, and I can even put the T for type, and I can type something that I want. My favorite sports. There, and now I've made a picture that's all complete. So I'd like you to take 2 more minutes and experiment with your own picture where you can change colors, change sizes, move things around, and even add your name if you'd like to add your name with the T tool. And that's really fun, and you can try it out. So 2 more minutes. Here we go. Okay, welcome back. If you're still drawing, that's fine. You can keep going. You can even pause this video if you'd like to. Right now, what we're going to do is take a look at the things I've been working on and what you might do to use this for yourself. So you've got, I made a couple of guys. I drew my hockey puck, but instead of choosing the hockey puck, I chose the hockey player and the hockey stick. And if I print these, I can actually learn to draw them by tracing. And there, oftentimes these representations that are drawn for clip art are simple enough that I can learn to draw them. And that's the nice thing about representations, is that they make something that's very complicated, like drawing a whole hockey player, and they bring it down to the simplest pieces. And then we can have the computer system learn even more. So I can't wait to show you this next part. It's so exciting. If you go up to the hamburger up here, we call it the hamburger menu, you'll see that there's a link here that starts with A, and it's called artists. And if you click on artists, you'll see some information about how these drawings were made. It says that AutoDraw can guess hundreds of drawings. If you had a drawing of something that was not something that has a name, like you can't choose Batman or Superman, you can choose superhero and maybe get someone that just has a cape or something. If there was a word that you were trying to draw that you didn't find, you can click this own, you can click these links here at the bottom to add your own. There's a whole form that allows you to for them to take suggestions, and you can write your own word in here for something that maybe isn't there yet. If you have a favorite dinosaur, or maybe you have, a light bulb or something that you couldn't find, you can type it in here, and then they will know that that's something they'd like you to make. You can also see who has been making these designs. So these are the designers that when you type your representation, which might be a little bit messy, these are the drawings that are actually used, and they are made by graphic designers who the artificial intelligence takes your drawing and matches it to their professional drawing. And that's how it moves from your maybe scribbly sort of butterfly like mine was, to a really beautiful butterfly. And that's because there's an artist that made the representation that appears there, and then you can modify it. This is a great example of how real people and technology work together to solve a problem. That's the exciting thing about AI. All right, so you can make a suggestion for AutoDraw. You can become an artist and make the next artist drawings that might be there. You can find out how to submit your own on this artist page as well. And we have one more tool. So what we've been using so far have been pictures, things that people have drawn, but we can also use artificial intelligence to make a photo. And it's really, really cool. And so this has a special name, a long name. The long name, it's kind of hard to say, so try it 2 times, okay? It's called a GauGan. GauGan. And what it does is it allows a computer to take your sketch, just like we've been sketching before, and turn it into a photo. It sounds a little bit like magic, but it's not. It's artificial intelligence. So a GAN is a really fancy way of saying that it compares different parts of your picture and puts the right type of information. Now, this link was a little bit too tricky for me to put it in normally, so I made a short link, and it's tinyurl.com/AI, because we're doing artificial intelligence, and then GauGan, GauGan. So tinyurl.com/AI GauGan. We'll come back to that link, but I'm going to show you how it works. And most importantly, I'm going to show you how to make it so that you don't lose your image at the start. There's one really important thing that you might not expect you have to do. If you are on a screen that doesn't quite show as much information as what you see here, you might have to scroll down. But there is a big red bar down here that says, check this box if you agree. And if you don't check the box, you'll lose your picture at the start. So when you're on the website, make sure you check the box before you get started, or you might work for a minute or 2 minutes or 5 minutes and not be able to see your picture. Make sure you check the box. Okay, so the way this works is this picture that you see to start, this light color at the top and then a darker color. This light part is the sky. It's anything like, see how in my background picture, the grass is down low and then the sky is up here, and some things stick into the sky, like my face, the sun, and flowers. Some things stick into the sky, and then some things are on the ground, and that's like the flowers and the flower stems and the grass. So this line is called the horizon line, and it means everything that's sort of above it at the lighter color is in the sky, or sticking up from the ground, and everything down below is sort of on the ground or closer to you. And what you can do is click any of these 4 choices. The top one says buildings, the second one says ground, the third one says landscape, and the fourth one says plant. If you have a grown-up and you're having trouble reading the words, just have them help you, okay? It's also, if you're having trouble reading the words, it's not super important that you know exactly what everything is, because it'll still work even if you don't know for sure. So I'm going to start with my landscape with some clouds in the sky. So I chose the third one, and then the top one is clouds. And I'm going to use the brush tool, which is this one here. And you can tell it's a brush because it says it's a brush. Don't use the fill tool because all it will do is fill like your whole screen. You might feel frustrated if you use the fill tool, but if you make a mistake, you can always do the arrow and go back, just like we did before. In this one, though, it only goes back one step. So if you make a lot of clicks, you can't keep going back. If you made a big mistake, you can choose this button at the top to clear it and start over. So it's very important that you stay on the brush tool. It looks like this. Otherwise, you might accidentally delete your picture or go back. So I'm going to start with clouds, and I'm on my brush tool, and I'm going to draw some fluffy clouds up here. That representation of clouds, they're not the most beautiful thing here, but I'm going to color them in because I want that. This is just the outline of a cloud, and I actually want the cloud to look like a cloud all the way through. So I'm going to color it in. There we go. I've got some clouds, and I'm going to make a mountain, and I'm going to make it stick way up because it's a mountain. And just like I did before, I'm going to color in the mountain. If you use the fill tool, just be aware you might make a mistake. And if you do, you can use the back tool, but only one time. I prefer to skip the fill tool because it often makes mistakes for me. And then I feel frustrated when I tried to draw a mountain and instead I cleared up my whole picture. And now I'm going to add some water. I'm going to make this the ocean down here. I'm going to sort of make this the coastline. And I'm just drawing what I would like my picture to be. And I'm coloring that in. Here I go. What happens if I try that fill tool? Oh, I hope it doesn't break. Oh, it didn't. But if it did, I would have just used that back button. And now the magic. Okay, here it goes. This arrow is going to take my sketch, my representation. It's going to perform artificial intelligence reasoning, and it's going to make this into a picture. Let's click the arrow. Okay, so it took my photo or my sketch and it said, hey, a mountain looks like this, clouds look like this. And I can actually refine it by choosing a picture that's closer to what I wanted to on this big bar of photos. And you can see how it might alter to be more similar to one of the other looks of other photos. So we're giving the artificial intelligence more information to make our picture the way we want it. Maybe we want it a little bit more spooky or a little bit more like daytime. And by clicking these other pictures, we can make that happen. So that is GauGan. And you're going to take several minutes to draw your own representation right here and turn it into a photo. If you have trouble in a browser, if you have trouble in your first browser, you may need to switch to a second browser. This works fine for me, but I have had one other student who had trouble with this. So if you're having trouble in one browser, just switch to another. I'm doing this one in Safari right now, where I did Quick Draw in Google Chrome. So should work for you in multiple browsers. Have fun, and we'll see you in a few minutes. I want to remind you of a common area where you have a problem. So here I've drawn a picture and I wanted to make a tree, but there's sky inside of my tree. And there's some sky inside of my flowers too. And that's because I didn't color them in all the way. So make sure when you do tree, you use your paintbrush and don't leave any sky inside of your tree. It'll come out better if you color everything in. And even though you wanted to draw individual flowers, what you're actually doing is telling the computer where you want to see flowers. So you might have an easier time drawing the flower garden instead of the individual flower. And you might get a better result. So here I'm going to just redo it again. I didn't have to start over. I just had to color in where I wanted to see the change. And when I click, it'll update to do a better job. You can use that trick too. If you're having trouble, make sure that you color in and that you give, if you think of it as where you're planting something instead of drawing it yourself. Okay, hopefully you have drawn something wonderful that you're proud of. Even if you're only part way through, remember that you can try it part way. It won't hurt anything if you draw something and then you make a change. Maybe you wanted to put in a house and you just put one in there and you just want to see what happens. You can draw it there, and then if you didn't like it, you can go back and try again, and you can keep changing from and just keep clicking that arrow every time you make a change to make it better and better and better. If you want to keep playing, you can pause this video or you can work on it after the lesson is over. But what we've learned today is about representation, about how we can take an object and just draw the most important parts of it to understand what it is. And we can teach computers both to recognize what we draw and to draw on its own with a clip art or a photo. And that is performing reasoning with the data that it's been given before. That's artificial intelligence, and it's super cool. I hope to see you next time when we have artificial intelligence